pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Shirley, would you call the roll, please?
Dean Cruz.
Here.
Kalinowski.
Here.
Ball. Here. Walker.
Here.
Stady.
Here.
Brian Cruz.
Here.
Paczynski.
Here.
Okay, on the meeting agenda for tonight, we have a presentation by Tamara Buswinka, the DDA Director. Under Communications and Announcements, item A, we have a letter from Stronach Township Board and Planning Commission regarding the Little Manistee Watershed Conservation Council. Item B is an email from the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy regarding the 2024 Drinking Water State Revolving Fund projects. Under Department and Committee reports, item A is our monthly Operation Services report, which is in your packet. Item B, the sewer report from the city, is in your packet. Item C, the DDA minutes from the July meeting and the director's report are in your packet. Item D, the Board of Review minutes are in your packet, as is item E, Building and Grounds Committee. F, Planning Commission, those minutes are also in your packet. Item G, the Zoning Administrator's report is in your packet. Item H, Personnel Committee, there is in your packet. Item A, consideration of approval of the Personnel Committee's recommendation to increase the hourly wage of Larry Thompson, Zoning Administrator, effective September 1st of 2023. Elections Commission has not met. Item J, the Fire Department report is in your packet. And item K and L, the ZBA has not met, nor has PEG. Under new business, we have item A, discussion of the resignation of Karen Koch from the Smart Trails Committee. And we need a replacement for her. Item B is consideration of approval of the Great Lakes Energy easement. That's for the Magoon Creek power light pole. And I believe that's it, unless there's something else to add.
You've got a couple of items.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't pull mine up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. We have two addendum items under new business. Item C is consideration of approval to advertise for bids to repair and replace sidewalks throughout the township. Item D is consideration of approval for the Metro Act right-of-way permit extension for a 5-year term ending December 31st of 2028. So I would entertain a motion for approval of the
I will make the motion to approve the meeting agenda.
including the two addendum items.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Staggy, second by Dean Cruz to approve the meeting agenda for tonight. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Under consent agenda for tonight. We have item A, the minutes of the regular board meeting from July 6th. Item B are the financial reports. Item C is approval of the Township General Fund expenditures, which includes the fire department. And those checks are numbered 40756 through 40831, with accounts payable totaling $73,386.19. Payroll totals $18,151.54, bringing the grand total to $91,537.73. Item D is approval of water department expenditures. Those include checks numbered 3117 through 3127, and they total $11,328.82. Item E is approval of the sewer operating expenditures with checks numbered 1205 through 1207 and totaling $5,731.85. Item F is approval of the monthly ACH payments to the state of Michigan and the IRS in the amount of $6,182.90. Item G is approval of Township to attend the MTA Professional Development Retreats at the Highlands and Harbor Springs at a cost of $365 each plus accommodations. Item H is approval for Township, the Township Clerk to attend a Clerk Education Day, September 1st, 2022 in Mount Pleasant in the amount of $50 plus accommodations. Item I is approval for a budget amendment to transfer $30,000 from fund balance of the general fund to infrastructure repair. And again, if there are no additions, changes to the consent agenda, I would entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make the motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll support.
Motion by Koloneski, second by Paczynski to approve the consent agenda for tonight. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment? Okay, moving right along then to our presentation. Tamara?
Hello, just wanted to give you our the DDA quarterly update. We're going to talk about two things, the food truck event and also about the Hamlet project. The DDA will be sponsoring a food truck event on Saturday, August 12th. I have put flyers, or I saw that flyers are in your packet, and I'd love it if you guys would hand it out to somebody or post it someplace that you may go to help with our advertising. We have done a lot of good marketing, but I think this event really is going to be a word of mouth. This is the first of what we hope will be an annual event. It will take place at the parking lot, kind of in front of Dunham's, really in front of Peebles. We will have a band. The music will be performed by the band Auntie Kim and Unique Soul. We will have 6 food trucks. I love these food trucks because it's dinner and dessert. So we've got Traverse City Dogs and Brats, the Cluck Bucket, TC Tacos, Good Eats on the Go, and then for dessert, Trinity Lutheran Donut Wagon and the Crave Frozen Yogurt. So dinner, dessert, and music in the parking lot on Saturday, August 12th from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Al Fry, the DDA board member Al Fry, has really spearheaded this entire Filer event and has worked really, really hard to make a go of it. So I hope to see you guys all there. And then regarding the Hamlet project, I know from your last meeting that the DDA and the Township Board is splitting the cost of the consultant, Susan Winslick from Fishbeck, to develop various financing scenarios that you feel comfortable presenting to the developer. The developer asked what type of financing incentives or packages would you guys be willing to entertain, and Susan is going to help us do that. She has already provided some information. Unfortunately, she gave it to me tonight, 5 minutes before the DDA meeting. So this month, expect to see some information about that, and perhaps we'll even do a combined DDA and Township Board and Planning Commission meeting. Maybe we'll do a Zoom call. I kind of wanted to get your temperature on that kind of meeting. We can all come into the same room too, but everybody has rough schedules. So I'll work with Terry to find out what makes the most amount of sense, but I'm looking for a combined meeting to talk about what Susan has come up with so that our next step will be to have a meeting with the developer. He's waiting for us to respond to his questions. So I'm looking to do that within the next month or two. And then the end goal is really by January, for the developer to submit his application to the Planning Commission so that they can start their work to review the project. So that's my goal. And those are the two things that I wanted to update you guys on. Is there anything that you would like to ask a question of me? All right, well, thank you very much. Please get the flyers out, and I will send them digitally too to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamara. Okay, moving into communications and announcements. Item A, the letter from the Stronach Township Board and their Planning Commission regarding the Little Manistee Watershed Conservation Council. I hope you all read that. I found it kind of enlightening and I guess a bit surprising. But at any rate,
Why did you find it surprising?
that just the position that they were taking on it, I guess, kind of in opposition to the natural waterways and what Great Lakes Energy or Eagle designates. Just surprised me.
That subject came up at our monthly MTA meeting as well.
Yeah. So I
And
heard.
several people that are currently on some of those rivers said you don't want to do this because the state comes in and really restricts you on what you can do on your own property 400 feet back from the waterfront and all this stuff, and you kind of gets rid of your own zoning, so that's one of the reasons why they were against it.
And Tom, were those comments coming from people in other townships, not just Stronach Township?
Right.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, that's the way I read that, is that it's very restrictive of the property owners as well as the township in
Right.
regards to zoning issues, so, yeah.
And somebody at the meeting said something about it was, a lot of the people that they keep applying for grants, and they finally got a grant to be able to pay for some of this stuff. And it's kind of being pushed by people over by Luther and some of those areas over in Lake County. They're the ones that are gung-ho to try and do it.
Okay.
Not so much in Manistee County,
Yeah.
evidently.
So the Watershed Council is the ones that were able to secure some grants, yeah. Okay. Okay, also in your packet is the email from Eagle on the 2024 Drinking Water State Revolving Fund projects, which kind of shows where everybody ranked in.
People at the bottom.
Yeah, we were at the bottom, yep, and, yeah. And by the way, I am meeting tomorrow. I've got to go to Travers. I asked to meet with Brian Sousa to talk about those results and, you know, what that means and where we go next. So I'll keep you informed. Okay, under department and committee reports, item A, Operation Services, monthly report is in your packet, and the sewer report from the city is also in your packet. Item C, the DDA's July minutes are in your packet, as is the Board of Review minutes. And the Building and Grounds minutes, item E, Planning Commission as well. Item G, Larry's report is in your packet. Item H is the Personnel Committee. And we need to take action on that to either approve or not. So if you
Is
had a,
everything all resolved?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. There were some things that were asked to be done by the planners, and by the committee, the personnel committee, back when we first met in May, I believe it was, and that was their recommendation. Those items have been addressed, so we're ready to move on. And if you're inclined, I would entertain a motion to that effect.
I'll make a motion that we increase his hourly rate by 3%.
I'll second.
Motion by Kolonowski, second by Dean Cruz, to approve the Personnel Committee's recommendation to increase the hourly wage of Larry Thompson, our zoning administrator, effective September 1st. Any discussion? Okay, those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item J, the fire department report is in your packet. Jim, is there anything you wanted to add to your report?
In the report, it indicated that we had some major problems with our rescue truck. It has been repaired and came back in service today, so this afternoon. We thought it was a turbo, and then we thought it was a head gasket, and it had come up to be a EGR cooler. Cools the exhaust before it goes out, and it was sucking all the antifreeze out of the truck. So I didn't get the bill yet, so I'm not sure what that's going to be. It's been down for a little over a week, so but it's back in service. It runs good now, and Shirley, just want to let you know that it went to Acra Trucking, but Acra is changing their name to something other, and I'm not sure what that
Acra,
name is.
A-K-R-A?
ACC.
Acura.
Acura.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Are they the ones in the Benito building out there?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're changing there to another, something trucking,
Okay.
under some new ownership. So if you get a bill from either one of those, that's what it's for, because that's where the truck went to get repaired. So, other than that, unless somebody's got some questions for me, I did get a complaint about the U-Haul building as far as having the fire lane blocks. I was over there. They are doing some trenching to get some power out to the buildings in the parking lot, and they poured some new cement approaches to where the loading and unloading is going to take place in the front of the store. That's why it was blocked off. It's temporary. The asphalt was supposed to go in today. I didn't see that it happened, but very soon they should be putting new asphalt in to fill in the trenches and so on and so forth that they had to dig to put in the electrical to the building. So, but the block, if that's there, is temporary, and it will be removed once it gets done. We can still get in there if we have to. We can just move a barricade, but they do have the fire lane block in front of that store. So,
Did you ever trade in that trailer and get that new one?
yes, we did. Yep, it's all set. It's all set up. It's a beautiful trailer. You don't even know what's behind you when you're going. It's a dual axle compared to a single axle, and it's a great trailer. It's working out really well.
Okay, thank you. Going to new business, item A is discussion of the resignation of Karen Koch from the Smart Trails Committee. And we need to find a replacement for her.
Well,
if-
she never formally gave us a resignation.
s-
She said she was going to.
She hasn't submitted a letter
No
yet?
paper, no.
Okay.
So maybe we better wait until, but we will need to fill it, I suppose, if she does follow through with that. I thought by now I would have had that, but I don't.
Okay. Yeah, because she announced that at last month's planning commission
Yeah.
meeting, so.
Is that something that they have to come from the planning commission, or?
No,
Okay.
it doesn't have to. It works good
Yeah,
because,
okay.
you know, that's the group that really
Mhm.
benefits from hearing what's going on elsewhere, so it would be good.
Well, there are two trails committees in Manistee County, because I brought that question up because I thought Karen Culp was on the committee that we were hearing the report on, and they said, no, that she wasn't on that committee. I think her committee is one like the North Country Trail, and the other one
Well,
is
it's-
maybe something through the Chamber of Commerce.
It's the old, it started with the, back when Rob Carson was here and they did the countywide rec plan. And that is the group that did that. And it just kind of, after the countywide rec plan got all said and done, you know, they just stayed together and did other things. And now they call themselves Smart Trails. Should we ever have to do an update on the county rec plan, it very possibly could be that group again. And it's been a number of years, so that could be coming.
Well, and, you know, we'll have to update the rec plan in 5 years if we wish to continue to seek grant.
Sure,
Money,
yeah.
so,
yeah. And you gotta start before that, you know.
Yeah.
Didn't you just do that?
It seems like it, doesn't it?
I mean, finally
20.
approved it.
Yeah, 2021, I believe, it was either 21 or last year that we approved the new one.
Oh, geez, before that.
No, because we were going to apply for a grant, I know, I'm pretty sure it was 21, the April 1st date, and I think, that's my memory, but my memory's not always right. But yeah, we couldn't apply for the grant when we wanted to because our rec plan hadn't been updated in 5 years, so. Okay, item B is consideration of the approval of Great Lakes Energy easement. That's the one for the light at Lagoon Creek Park at the entrance. And that's the one we've been working on for like a year with Great Lakes, just trying to get a response from them. And we finally got, after we submitted that after the board approved the last one and it was sent to them, then they came back with some changes and Richard reviewed that, and there was only one concern left to address, and that was the extent of the easement. The way it read, it was not well defined, and you know, it could have led potentially to them, you know, putting power lines anywhere in the park, boundaries, you know, that they might want to. So the last one we sent, and that was the day before yesterday, I believe, that I forwarded Richard's edits onto Great Lakes Energy, and I haven't heard back from them yet, so we're just waiting to hear. But that's the one that's in your packet, where Richard made those changes so that the easement is, it's a 30-foot easement, either side, 15 feet either side of the line that they're going to run from the east side of Red Apple, going west underneath the road and underneath our entrance and coming up behind the stone wall where the meter base is already in place. And in fact, the last I spoke with Ernie from Great Lakes out of Scottville, and that was about a week to 10 days ago. He said he already had placed the boring equipment there behind the wall, so they're ready to go. It's just waiting to get approval from their attorney on it. So what we're looking to do is what's in your packet, the edit that Richard made, approve that contingent upon their approval, the cost is there and everything's defined, so if they, I guess what I'm asking is to approve my signature and/or Richard's signature pending their agreement to his edits.
Any minor adjustments?
Yeah, very minor, yeah.
But if they come back with more adjustments, then what?
Then I don't sign it.
Well, then it would be.
It'll go back to Richard for review,
Yeah, it would.
and, you know,
Just keep going again.
yeah.
Did we ever get back the signed copy from them of the agreement for them to operate in Tower Township?
Yes.
Yeah. After about a year.
Yeah, well, last I knew, we sent it off to them and said, oh, we're just gonna send it to them and see what happens.
Yeah.
We got it.
So that's where that is at, and so it just need a motion to approve the signing of that easement agreement contingent upon our township attorney's approval of, if they do any editing on it.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Brian Cruz, second by Dean Cruz to approve the Great Lakes Energy easement contingent upon our attorney's review of any edits that they make to that and approval, his approval before we sign. Any discussion? Okay. Shirley, you want to do a roll call, please?
Brian Cruz,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Kalinowski,
Yes.
Stady,
Yes.
Dean Cruz,
Yes.
Stady, Kaczynski,
Yes.
Ball, yes.
Okay, item C is consideration of approval to advertise for bids to repair and replace sidewalks throughout the township.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we put that one in the paper.
I'll second it.
Motion by Brian Cruz, second by Kalinowski to approve the advertising for bids to repair and replace sidewalks in the township. Any discussion?
Do you have them marked, which ones you figure how many of them?
I've got some marked, Brian. There are some that are really, really bad, where mainly roots have upheaved sidewalks that the company we had doing trip hazard repair, I mean, it's beyond that.
Right.
So some of those, what we're looking at, some that are broken up badly.
So we're probably looking at not just sidewalk repair, it needs to be some roots cut out or
Yeah.
trees cut down maybe or something.
Well, two in particular that I know I've looked at, the tree is on the personal property, it's not in the right of way. So it's gonna be either, cutting roots, if they don't want to remove the tree, or they can choose to have the tree removed. But I know one of them is a nice shade tree, and I doubt they'd want to have that taken down. The other one, half of it's dead and half of it's still providing shade, but. Any other discussion, questions? Okay, those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item D is consideration of approval for the Metro Act right-of-way permit extension for a 5-year term ending December 31st of 2021. And that was with the other items in front of you.
I'll make a motion that we approve the
I'll second that motion. So we have a motion by Hachinsky, second by Walker, to approve the Metro Act right-of-way permit extension for a five-year term ending December 31st of 2028. Discussion? Shirley, want to go ahead and call the roll?
Stady,
Yes.
Dean Cruz,
Yes.
Kalinowski,
Yes.
Brian Cruz.
Yes.
Machinsky,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Ball, yes.
Okay, public comment. Any public comment? Okay,
Just have a question.
Jim.
The ice cream truck that's going through the neighborhoods, do they have a permit? Do
Not,
they need a permit?
I'm not aware of a permit, and I honestly don't know if they need one or not. I guess that would be a Richard question. I can give him a call
I
and
mean,
ask
it
him.
doesn't matter to me, it's just that the fact is that the two issues is that, number one, they are driving too quickly through the neighborhoods, you don't have time to get out of your house to go by. And the second thing is that they come through our neighborhood, they come through after 9 o'clock at night.
Really?
And that's a little
Yeah.
bit late, I think, that
Yeah.
be
Well,
going out and getting ice cream for your kids before you gotta put them in bed.
yeah, typically something like that, we've either, I think, in the past, have either required a permit or at least some form of communication, written communication with the township, and I haven't seen anything. And I agree with you, there's been a couple times I was working in my back garage and I hear it coming and I head for the street and they're long gone by the time I get there.
So,
Yeah.
but that's, I mean, it's their business, I mean, if that's what they wanna do, that's fine, but just 9 o'clock, after 9 o'clock at night is a little bit, I think it's a little bit late to be rolling through the neighborhoods with an ice cream truck.
Yeah, I don't know what their target audience is. I know they go down through Filer City and there's just not many kids down there anymore. Very few young kids, so if their target audience is us older folks, then 9 o'clock's okay. No later than 9, certainly, but
My grandson said, "Why are they coming so late? You won't let me out of the house."
there you go.
I'm sure it's a local truck, and I'm sure I read somewhere where they were asking people if they had a group of people, kids in the neighborhood, and they wanted the ice cream, to let them know, and they would come to that neighborhood. So,
Huh.
they have to be licensed by the health department, so
Do you know who owns it? I mean, do you know who runs the truck?
you could find out tomorrow night. They'll be at that cruise, if they have a cruise, they're by the coffee shop across from Nancy Tire, so. They're there all the time, so it's relation to them somehow.
Yeah, maybe the health department can help us find out who it is and get in touch with them.
They're riding through the neighborhood. You'd like to know who they are.
I would grandkids that
Yeah.
I want to know that they're rock and roll.
Okay, anything else? All right. Anything else to come before the board tonight? Tom, do you have anything tonight?
No,
Brian?
Nothing.
Tom?
Nothing.
Shirley?
Yeah, we need to have, this Great Lakes easement
Oh, yeah.
signed by you and
3 other
3 others.
board members?
Before you leave, 3
Yeah,
of
so
you. Doesn't
3 of
matter
you'll
those 3.
stay and sign it tonight so that then if we get approval, get it back and everything will be ready to go. So anybody that wants to put their signature on that, stick around and do so, please. Dale, you got anything else?
The only thing on this food truck, it would be nice if we could have had that entrance, something done at that entrance coming in off. That is just not looking very good.
No, it's not, and believe me,
I know, it's.
Prior to when we first started planning this, I met with Scott Brown to talk about some possible repairs and estimates to get to the property owners to see if they would do something. And the one at the other end, coming off from 21st, Murky there, that one's even worse.
So that's the one, yeah.
That one's terrible, and
Who owns it?
that is owned, well, partially by Sharon Lapp. And I know 5, 6, 7 years ago when it got real bad, she was still in Grand Rapids at that time. I contacted her, and they got it repaired. And this time I have had when I called the number I had for her, didn't go through, and I found out she's no longer in Grand Rapids, she's in Arizona. We did finally get an address. I sent her a letter. When Scott Brown was doing the stuff on the other end, I asked him, would you write up a quote to have this repaired so we can forward that to Sharon Lapp, which we did. And I also, some of the businesses there had called and had concerns, obviously, and I, after talking with Richard about it, and he said, there's, it's private property, there's nothing we can do other than, try to get her to do something, and so we did send the quote from Scott Brown to her, and I also suggested, this goes back probably 7, 8, 9 months, some of the people that work in the stores there, like Continental Rental and some of those that they, their tenants, they ought to band together, they ought to send letters to her and try to get her to repair it. So I don't know if they followed up on that or not. But
She actually owns buildings there, doesn't she?
I think the Continental Rental she does.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I think she does own that one. I don't know about Gilroy's, but a good section of that parking lot she owns too.
Mhm.
So. Trying to answer your question, I know it doesn't answer your concern.
I just thought it would be nice if we could, it's kind of a turn off a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Pull in there.
Yeah,
I don't even go that way no more because it's that bad.
yeah.
You would think that repair shop would fix it for their customers?
You would think so. I mean,
It helps them.
That one hole.
Run in alignment.
Is deep. Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe, if the parcel lines are accurate on my honest map, and that part of that drive belongs to Gerber Collision.
That's what I thought, yeah.
And the other part of it, to Sharon Lapp, so. Dean, you got anything for tonight?
I was just saying, they're working slow on that bank bill.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, what's going on?
They're pushed back, it was supposed to be July, now they're saying end of August, that ain't gonna happen. That's what the state was saying. It
yeah,
ain't gonna be now, who knows when. There's days they don't even work on it, nothing going on at all.
right,
I heard the guy who owns the place, Fisher, he had a
Yeah.
heart attack or something.
oh, really?
And he's the one who's doing the contract, he's the one who's doing a lot of the work on there too.
Oh,
So that might be the
That
reason.
makes sense, yeah.
It's slow.
yeah, very. Dean, you got anything for tonight?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not,
I don't have anything else, but just remind the three of you, please sign that paper for Shirley, and I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Steggy, second by Kolonowski to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Meeting is adjourned.